welcome back to the David67 Celtic News YouTube channel. Just thought it'd be fun to do middle of the week a wee prediction video to try to predict the final places 1st to 12th in the Scottish Premiership for 25-26. Who's going to get the Championship, who's going to get relegated, who's going to be in that playoff place to get relegated, and who's going to get potentially into European qualifying for next season. Just a bit of fun, obviously. Very difficult at this stage in the season to predict. We've had a couple of games so far for each team in the Scottish Premiership, and there's been one or two wee surprises, and a couple of teams so far are 100% in terms of wins, and a few teams have had disappointing results. Despite the fact that Livingston have had obviously a good start to the season, one win and one draw. Both games have not been really against top level teams, and I do think over the course of the season their lack of funds, their lack of ability to improve their squad through the transfer market, their difficulty getting any quality players in will in the end come back to bite them. And so my prediction for 12th place is Livingston. In 11th place, I'm going for Dundee. And Dundee in quite a state of flux at the moment. New manager, a lot of difficulties with the club in terms of trying to renovate their old football stadium, or even trying to move to a bigger purpose-built stadium on the edge of Dundee. They've had a few of their better players leave the club. They've had difficulties attracting new players, and of course they've had a pretty awful start to the season with the Scottish League Cup campaign. Although, and to give them credit, they did have a very good battling draw, 1-1 at the weekend, and had VAR done its job, they could even have sneaked a win at Ibrox last Sunday. In 10th place, I'm going to go for the newly promoted Falkirk. I think Falkirk, as opposed to Livingston, have kept a lot of their squad together that's got them promotions. I think they've got a very good manager. I think they also are going to struggle to maintain form throughout the whole season, struggle to bring in new players. But I do think a combination of their good teamwork and team spirit that they've built up over the last couple of seasons under John McGlynn, and I think he will also manage the team well and keep them just out of the danger zone in 10th place. In 9th place, I'm going to go for Motherwell. The rumours are at the moment their best player, Lennon Miller, is just about to sign for Udinese in Italy. He's been missing from the start of the season for them. And like all the other teams below them and around them, Motherwell will always struggle to attract good quality players. They have got a pretty good network of bringing through young players from academy and from local areas. But I do think they're going to struggle bringing in quality, and I think they also are going to find a very major hole in their team, losing their best player, Lennon Miller, and so I'm going for Motherwell in 9th. In 8th place, Kilmarnock. Kilmarnock, one of those teams who can be a good battling side. However, I think with the loss of their very good manager, Derek McInnes, I think they're going to start to struggle to keep up the same ability to fight for surprise results. They are losing one or two of their better players, and so going to pop in Kilmarnock in number 8. And in 7th place, I'm going for St Mirren. St Mirren, like all the other teams in my predicted bottom 6, struggles with finances, struggles with keeping their better players, struggles with recruiting players from other teams. They're tending to get their players from the lower leagues in England, lower leagues and divisions around Europe, and bringing in players just recently from Ireland as well. I think with their manager, they're always going to be a difficult team to beat. I think they have got one or two wee talented players in their team, good, basic, strong defenders. They are very well organised, as I was saying, and I think they're going to be one of those tables safely in the mid zone, but probably not got the quality to get into the top six for the split fixtures at the end of the season. Sixth place, going to go for Dundee United. Dundee United doing pretty well so far in their European qualifiers. They had a very impressive 2-2 draw away at Rapid Vienna and do stand a good chance later this week of going through to the final qualifying round. They have attracted a few good players to the team. They are very well managed, very well organised, but I do think they're going to struggle in the final third to get enough goals to push any up higher up than sixth. So going for Dundee United in sixth. Fifth place, Aberdeen. Aberdeen will, of course, have guaranteed European football right through to the start of 2026, as they are guaranteed European football one way or another, having won the Scottish Cup last May against Celtic. They have added one or two players to their squad. They have had a pretty poor start to the season, looking rather disjointed. And it does seem that Jimmy Tilleen at Aberdeen has a number of players in all covering the same positions, and seems to be finding it very difficult to choose who his best striker is, who his best defensive midfielder is. And they do seem to have two or three players for each position. And it may well be his captain, Shinnie, who has to drop out, as it's difficult to see him really being able to hold off the younger, better players to maintain that place in the side. Good defensive team, basically, but I think they're going to struggle to create and score goals and also have 2 games per week for much of the rest of 2025, and so I'm going for Aberdeen in fifth. Fourth place, Hearts. Toss up between Hibs and Hearts for fourth and third places. Going to go for Hearts in fourth place. They have had quite a lot of investment. Don't think the quality of players they've brought in is good enough to move them any higher than fourth or possibly third. They have had obviously a good start to the season, a couple of good wins, last minute heroics to win 3-2 against Dundee United, and the week before a nice comfortable 2-0 win against Aberdeen at Tynecastle. They have got investment, but I don't think they're going to be good enough to overhaul Hibs in third. Hibs doing well in European qualifying. They've got good forwards in Boyle and Bowie who can score goals, well managed by David Gray, good combative creative midfielders, also able to shut down games and preserve leads, and a good defensive organisation as well. They may well lose a player or two throughout the end of the transfer window, and possibly if they do qualify for the actual group stages in Europe, that might also put a drain on their resources. But going to go for Hibs in third. Rangers in second. I think Rangers maybe are waiting to see whether they get into the Champions League group stages to decide whether to keep their most prized assets like Dezers, Igamani, Raskin, Diomande, etc. Quite a number of their players have left already. They've brought in quite a number of young players, quite a number of loan players. They obviously have had a very poor start to their league season with back-to-back draws against Motherwell and Dundee. And they are pretty much guaranteed European football, and I think over the course of the season that's also going to put a drain on their resources, playing twice a week on a consistent basis. So going to go for them in second place, and in first place, no surprise, is going to go for Celtic. Celtic haven't improved their squad dramatically over the summer period. However, they have got a new excellent left back in Kieran Tierney. They've got a potential superstar in Benjamin Negrin, who can cover a variety of places. They have retained the great majority of their squad from last season. Nicholas Kuna, of course, has gone. They do have deficiencies primarily in the wide positions and could do with a new striker. However, I think a combination of all the players currently at the club and an expected couple more players coming in the last 2 or 3 weeks of the transfer window, and Celtic will power towards the league title. And I'm also going to predict Celtic getting a double, if not a treble, this season. Doubles and trebles are so much more difficult to achieve, as it just takes one bad performance and you're out the cup, or one mediocre performance and you lose the cup final. But at this point, very confident Celtic will win the 25-26 Scottish Premiership and add one or two more cups to that total. Now, of course, you all may have your own opinions, be whether you be Celtic fans or fans of any of the other Scottish Premiership teams. So do feel free to pop your own thoughts and predictions and lineups into the comment section. Please try to keep it nice and pleasant, polite, respectful, so that we can have a nice debate among Celtics fans and also football fans in Scotland and around the world. And so until the next David 67 video, goodbye and hail, hail.